Today we're at Coxmoor Golf Club for a full bag fitting with PXG, only I'm not having the fitting, he is. Hi, I'm Paul and this is a golf show. Okay, so today we're back at Coxmoor Golf Club with PXG Master Fitter Lawrence Pauly. Hi Lawrence, how you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you Paul. Well, thanks. How about yourself?
Doing great, thanks for coming back on the show.
Good, good.
So today we're going to do a fitting, but it's a fitting with a difference. It's not for me, it's for Zach. Zach's had a great season so far. He's won 2 comps, he had his first hole in one, has been chosen to play for York. At the moment he's got a junior set with 10 clubs. I've been really interested by the full bag deals that PXG are doing.
Yeah.
I think there's some great value for money there. Zach keeps trying my clubs out, but they're a bit long, so I get to keep them, thankfully. But I think he needs some, so if you can help Zach out, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, definitely. We'll go through everything with him today, all the way from driver down to putter, and see where we get to. With our weighting system through all the irons, even in the Gen 4, we can make everything balanced.
Yep.
Like you touched upon. We just make golf club heads.
Yep.
There's no men's clubs, there's no ladies clubs. They're just golf clubs.
Yep.
And for us, we can bespoke everything and anything for you. So let's get you hitting a few shots. 7-iron just down at that V that we had you set up at. I've got your TrackMan going. 7-irons there, and let's get going. As you hit your shot, Zach, just give me some info. You know, whether you feel that was a good shot, bad shot. That's what you like to see. That's not what you like to see. Then we'll go from there.
I like that.
Yeah, that quite typical height-wise and so on?
Yeah.
Yeah, and with it being a little bit left, is that the miss or?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, more left than right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I don't think I hit that one as well as the other one.
A little bit ground ball. Okay. And does that happen? Is that, if you were to describe a poor strike, so one whether it's either ground ball or ball ground or?
Yeah, it'd be ground ball.
Always bit, okay, fine. And what are you off at the moment, Zach?
18.7.
Okay. Lovely strike.
Yeah, that one felt really nice.
Very nice. Cool. Happy that's quite a fair representation of what you do?
Yeah.
Okay, so your current 7-iron's 36 inches, right? So that's 1 inch under sort of like a standard setup for a 7-iron for us, in quite a lot of our models. The lie angle that you've got is a green dot, so for ping that's a little bit upright, and I can see why they've done that. So dynamic lie for you, how you've been delivering that golf club has been about 3 degrees upright from 62, so 64, 65. Spin is good. There's not a lot wrong with your golf clubs in all honesty, okay, but probably what we want to do is give you a product that's a little bit more powerful. There's some more longevity in it as well. You can see that the stripe pattern, the shaft might be a little bit soft for you, so that sort of junior shaft just flexing too much. So if we can put you in something a little bit more stable, that should help as well. All right. So this is just half an inch longer than what you've currently been playing. Just going to go with a men's regular flex, and you're going to feel a lot more weight through the shaft than what you used to playing. Just going to get a better balance point, so what we call swing weight with your golf club. So where yours currently was far too light through the head, there was swing weight in sort of like B4, B5. And that's just because you've had some golf clubs that have been extended, and that's nothing against that as a product. So what we're going to do, we're going to use our central weighting system here in a Gen 4P. We're going to give you extra head weight just to try and balance off that golf club to see where we get to and whether we can get you a more sort of traditional balance to that as well. See if you can feel the difference. I'm going to try and get you sort of C8, D0. I'm quite lucky with these things. C8 straight off the bat, that's not too bad. So we've got 15 gram weight in the back of the head at the moment. doesn't mean a lot. It just means that when we build the golf clubs, we can give you an exact replication of what you've got here. Lovely shot. How did that feel?
A lot better.
Okay, that little bit more head weight, ball speed's jumped up a little bit. That particular shot was 14 yards longer through the air. Okay, so if you imagine what we've done there is, like I said, your head weight in your golf club is quite light. So if I gave you a nail and you're going to knock it into the wall and gave you a light hammer, there's a lot of hits to get that nail in. Whereas if I gave you a big chunky hammer and you gave that nail a whack, what would happen? Going faster. Okay, so if we can give you a better balance of golf club but also a head that weighs that little bit more, all of a sudden, boom, you've got what we call more critical mass, more head weight, hitting and making that impact with the golf ball, which means hopefully we can get a bit more ball speed as well. Right? What we have to make sure we still maintain is good spin. So that's still sort of mid 5,000 spin, probably a little bit low, but that could just be that we're using range balls. So, all right? Lovely shot. Okay, how does that feel to you?
A lot better. Really.
Do you like that?
Yeah.
Prefer that? Okay. Okay, so we've picked up sort of across the board around 10 yards on average. Okay, it's a lot more consistent, especially with the miss hits, and obviously having a hollow-bodied golf club like the P. There's some longevity in it. You're at 18 at the moment. You know, I imagine your aspirations is to get down as low as you possibly can, and next season's definitely a time for that. So moving into a player's golf club like this will give you that ability to work on sort of refining your shot shaping and working on strike, as well as having that little bit of more forgiveness in the perimeter weighting that the hollow body gives you. The core material of this allows you to generate more ball speed in the off-centre shots, which is why we're seeing that slight uplift in distance. You can still miss it across the face. That heavy shot previously for you dropped off around 25 yards of carry, whereas that sort of heavy shot with this one, you only lost 9. So all of a sudden, it's that little bit better in the fact that when you do miss hit it, you're still closer to the green, and no matter what, as long as you get that closeness to the hole, you're going to make more, or less shots, I should say. All right? Feel all right?
Yep.
Spin's kept good, 6-1 average spin, so yeah, really, really nice. I like that a lot. Quite like the feel of that.
Yep. Okay.
So what we'll try and do, we'll try and replicate that with a slightly different profile shaft. Blind squirreled it really. I think that's worked really, really well, and ultimately it's a men's regular flex at 75 grams, so there's lots of longevity in that for you at your age. Your current club head speed, it's probably a hair too strong, but you're only getting faster and stronger. So we need to probably build in some longevity, otherwise your dad's going to bring you back next season and we're going to have to do this all over again. So no one wants that to happen, other than me. Okay, just going to drop down the shaft weight a little bit, and something that hopefully will provide a fraction more spin, just to see how that reacts with your swing for you. Okay, so the KBS Max, great shaft, very, very popular in all of our fittings. I'll just check that we give you the same sort of feeling golf club. Okay, so trying to get that swing weight around about C8. So obviously changing the shaft weight, we need to then change what we do with the head weight. So just need to lighten that head off a wee bit. So what we're able to offer is 0.5 gram increments, all the way from 2.5 grams to 18.5 grams. Can make it a little bit complicated sometimes, but it's what has to happen for people to get the right fitting golf clubs. It's what a tour player would experience. So we're just trying to give you that similar sort of experience. And obviously you can see here I'm going right down through the weights into some quite light offerings. So for us, what we need to make sure is that we don't lose the ball speed when doing this. Like I explained previously, if we have that heavier head weight, it is going to give us more ball speed ultimately, as long as you can control it. Yeah, that's good. Okay, just watch where that lands.
Yeah.
See, that's quite a bit shorter, isn't it?
Yeah.
How did that feel? It can be as simple as better or worse.
I'm not sure. The club feels a bit longer, but I don't know if it is. It just feels a bit.
Sometimes that little bit of white can,
A bit different.
yeah, changing colour can also make things look longer and shorter.
Yeah.
Do you feel as comfortable as you did before?
I probably feel more comfortable with the other club. That felt a lot better.
But as a golf club, was that better or worse than the other one?
I think probably worse.
Yeah, you could see you've hit the same number of shots and the dispersion is massive compared to where we were with that previous shaft. So we're going to try and find another one for you now. So we've actually lost a bit of spin there for you as well. Carry distance is very similar to what you're currently doing. So just not worked, and that's fine.
Do you do many junior fittings, Lawrence?
Yes, we do quite a few, just because obviously we don't offer sort of gender or age specific products. It's all just generic head, different shafts, and we manipulate the golf clubs to suit whoever's being fitted at that moment. So yeah, quite a few. So the Mitsubishi MMT, same weight roughly as that very first Recoil that we tried. We've had to lighten the head weight fractionally just to give you the same feel. The reason this is quite a good shaft, has metal mesh technology within there. So as the carbon's being woven, they put this metal mesh through the graphite, which gives you that little bit more rigidity than some of the other graphites on the marketplace. Let's see how you get on with that.
Thank you. That one felt quite nice.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. What it looks like from here is your delivery hasn't changed clubhead speed or anything like that, but that slightly firmer profile of shaft, like I said, that little bit of metal mesh within there, it's just causing it to play a fraction too firm, which is why there's not quite enough spin on it. So you can see it as it gets to the top of its flight, it's just wanting to like pinch its way down, just drop out a little bit early. And ultimately, the functionality of a 7.9 is to attack flags.
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes for chipping and running, but mainly to attack flags. And for you to have that control, that ball needs to come down quite steeply. So we're looking for the pinnacle to stay nice and high, but the angle that it drops from that pinnacle has to be quite steep so that we can control the ball when it hits the green through trajectory and spin. If we can get a little bit more trajectory control, which is why I want a bit more spin, when the greens get hard, etc., you can get that ball stopping a bit faster. If you're heavily reliant on spin, as soon as those greens get a little bit firm, spin's almost irrelevant to some description because it won't have much to grab onto when it hits the ground, so it won't stop that quickly. So let's see you hit a couple more. Okay, nice. Like that?
Yep.
What I'm going to do, going to rebuild that very first club, and let's go back to that.
How's it going, Zach?
It's going really well.
Yeah, it's a really interesting process, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the way that Lawrence explains it makes it so simple to understand.
Yeah.
And obviously you'll give communication back, is it better or worse? Things about spin rates, you know, we've never really thought about that, have we?
No. Thank you.
Lawrence has got an annoying habit of always getting it right on the first go. I think every time he takes it, we always try a few others. We'll go back to the first one every time. He knows what he's doing, Zach, you've got to trust him.
No comment. Even that one sounded a little bit toey, but look at it go.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely love that. I can see you like it as well.
Yeah.
So irons wise, what's the longest iron you're comfortable with? 6 iron, 5 iron?
6 iron.
6?
Well, mine goes up to a 6.
Well, for me, it's where do we transition into the fairway woods? You know, we've got to look at functionality again, and it's whether, you know, we go sort of 5 hybrid 7 wood or 5 hybrid 4 hybrid 5 wood.
Yep.
I think, you know, where a lot of people lose that sort of, where a lot of people get confused is the 4 hybrid 7 wood scenario.
Yep.
Okay, and from that little chat we had at the start, understanding that you still play a lot of those into greens, etc., I would always lean and probably favour a fairway wood for you than a hybrid. The reason being is fairway woods, the flight and functionality of a fairway wood will be marginally higher than a hybrid. slightly longer shaft, so you get more leverage, it'll generate more speed, we'll hit it further as well, so that'll make that sort of approach shot from say 150 to 200, those options that you have within that yardage, that little bit easier for you, especially, you know, when you're trying to fly them into Fulford, etc. Is that functionality appropriate for when you go and play up at St Andrews, etc.? That it might be a little bit different, but that's not to say you couldn't use a 6-iron or whatever it is. We've got to look at where you're going to play most of your golf, and what's going to benefit you right now and next season, etc. Okay, so for me, I'd look at what you do and I'd stand there and go, right, well, I think for how you hit your shots, etc., I'm going to have a look at a 7-wood to start with. As soon as they hit the ground, they try and stop the club face from wanting to rotate. So, like we talked about earlier, your miss hit is a little bit heavy. So, if this is going to sort of bottom out a little bit early, what we don't want is that club face to want to be twisting and rotating around on the floor. So that will help with that. The XF will come with a little bit more loft. So instead of 21, it comes at 22 as standard. We can move the weight heel or in the front. I'm leaving it in the heel. We're going to go with the Mitsubishi Tensai AV range, so quite handle stable. And then the shaft then progressively gets a little bit softer as it gets to the bottom, so should feel quite smooth. 65 grams, so it's a good weight for you, because what that means is if we do go 7-wood, we can put the hybrid version of this in at 75 grams, which will feel exactly the same weight as the irons as well, so you'll have a good transition of weight through the whole bag. All right, let's see you hit a few shots with that. Okay, what I'm going to do, just going to flatten this off a little bit, so as you're addressing it, that toe's quite a little bit off there, and what you can see marking wise is you've got a lot of the mat on the heel and none on that toe rail there. So this should enable it to start a wee bit further right.
Thank you.
Lovely strike, that, really nice. And what I like is we've got loads of height there, but still lots of forward momentum. It's not like it's spinning up or ballooning on us at all. I really like that as a flight. Do you like the feel of that? Does it not feel too hard or soft or anything?
No. I like it.
And 4,000 revs of spin is really good for this particular sort of golf club. Okay. Typically 7-woods, I mean, ultimately it's probably, you know, a gnat's too firm right now. But like I said, we're not looking for today as well. We're looking for the next year and the year after. You know, you're a strong lad. You're going to grow up quite quickly and get strong quite quickly. So we need to build some longevity within that set. So for it to be a little bit under spinning right now, great, because let's be fair, it's windy here at Coxmoor today. We're in the UK. It's going to be windy from time to time. It still needs to be playable for when you go up to St Andrews. What we can do with this product is there is some longevity in just the loft dynamics as well. We can strengthen that up as you get a little bit stronger, make them a little bit stronger in loft, and that'll bring the flight down, bring the spin down, so you can still play them when you go play links or when you're at home on the parkland as well. I think the Fairway wood is a much better option generally for people. So yeah, I think for where we're looking at Zach, I'd probably go 1357. Probably sort of like a 25-degree hybrid. Pick the 6-iron up and go through to. We'll discuss wedges, but probably go through to gap wedge within the set. Because at your sort of distance, it's still going to be quite a regularly used full swing golf club. And then we'll look at what wedge makeup we do for the others. Lovely strike on that. I mean, you can even see that's bounced a bit further than the 7-wood. A little bit flatter in flight. So sort of 5 miles an hour faster ball speed. So good strike. Obviously it was a little bit left, so can always make the ball come off a wee bit faster. Really good carry there, sort of 14 yards up on the 7-wood, which is great. Spins drop down 500 revolutions, exactly what we'd expect to see. Okay, through the Fairway wood. You know, that particular golf club's just shy of 200. So again, we're sort of working our way through where we need to be, and 200 yards for a 5-wood is great, because it means then 3-wood we're going to be trying to push sort of 215, 220.
Yeah.
Driver, you know, you're going to be up there with your dad, so
Yeah.
not what you wanted to. That's a super shot. Another blind squirrel, isn't it? Quite good at this fitting malarkey, me. What I want to do with the 3-woods is I'm going to put the same, we'll get to the driver,
Yeah.
but I'm going to put a 55 gram in there, so it's lighter than the 5 and the 7-wood. Okay, we need to create this transition. Ultimately, this is going to be a club that you're going to use as sort of like a fairway driver, right? You're going to stand there, it's got to go physically as far as possible.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do, like I said, lighten that shaft up. It's obviously longer because it's a 3-wood. Playing it at 16 degrees, same lie angle as what we were in the 7-wood and the 5-wood.
Yep.
Okay, not too bad. Like the look of those, Zach.
Yeah.
Okay, just have a little play with that weight just to try and get it holding up a little bit.
Yeah.
Obviously 3-woods, they're stronger in loft, they're going to come out a little bit stronger in flight, so what I don't want it to do is what it just did there, which is where it just dipped out the sky a little bit, and that's not what we want to see, because that carried the same as the 5-wood, just didn't quite get to the same total distance.
Yeah.
Just because it just didn't look like it was as fast off the face. Okay.
Okay.
There we go. See how it's just holding up
Yeah.
that little bit longer? So just move the weight a little bit further back in the head through the heel section. So that's why we've got that little soft draw onto it.
Yeah.
But just spins that little bit better for you. So same weight setup as where we were with the 5 and the 7.
Yep.
Ball position, just a fraction far forward. But
Yeah.
all right. So if you imagine your swing's a big circle,
Yeah.
the further forward you put it, the more your swing's going to want to pull it left.
Yeah.
So just bring it back. I always say, like, sort of anything off the deck should never go any further forward than the first belt loop on your trousers on that side.
Okay.
The reason I always quote belt loops and hips is because your feet can change, but your hips can't. All right. So just think about that. So just try and play it right in the middle of the 5 on your 150 logo, first belt loop, that sort of position.
Yeah.
Okay. So a little bit further back than what you used to. And that should hopefully get the starting line to be a wee bit further right. There we go. It's like I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, love that. What sort of tee height would you typically go with? Pink, castle,
pink.
orange, pink?
Pink tees.
Typically with a driver, do you see it drift a little bit like that, or not so much?
Not really.
No,
Not
cool.
much.
Is it more a draw?
Yeah.
So because it's not off the deck like the fairway woods,
Yeah.
you get a slightly greater margin for error. So just gonna swing it round for you. Same setting, just changing that lie angle, making it a little bit more upright.
Yeah.
And that should help it just start that little bit further to the left than where we just saw that.
Yeah. Cheers.
We're not doing wedge work yet. I'd have said the same to your dad, so I imagine it's commonplace playing golf with your dad. If you're not smiling and having fun, it's not golf, is it? Big hit that. How did that feel?
The club feels maybe a little too long, so I think I had to grip down a little bit, but apart from that, it felt nice.
Yeah, I think we'd go 44 and a half in the driver.
Yeah.
So it'd still be 1.5 inches longer than the 3 would, but
Yeah.
it'd be 1 inch shorter than that one, just so that you can
Yeah.
be a bit more comfortable. It's not, even at that length, you've got until you sort of late 5 foots until it's too short.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Because it's big jump. It's 2.5 inches from 3 wood to driver, whereas every other club's 1/2 inch to 3/4. So we just need to just narrow that gap a wee bit. There we go. 10.5. That's a great hit, that. You're not staying off 18 for much longer.
Cheers.
How do the grips feel?
They feel alright.
Yeah, just let's see that glove hand. Take the bottom hand off, the non-glove, and put. Yeah. Pretty much where we'd like to see it. So what we don't want to see is the ring finger and the middle finger touching the heel too much. So this part of the hand.
Yeah.
So there is a comfort within that. You need to feel very comfortable with the golf club. But what we don't want is your fingers to be miles away from the heel of your hand. But also we don't want you to be strangling the golf club as well.
Yeah.
So it's always a good reference to basically you want to feel these gently touching or just a little bit away from the heel. As long as you've got that, you know it's the right size.
Yeah.
And if you can't tell the difference and you haven't got that sort of preference of feel yet, we just want to get it pretty much where the hand feel looks comfortable on there. What will happen is obviously if we get this shaft a little bit shorter, shafts are tapered. So the grip's going to come down. It's all going to be a fraction narrower.
Yeah.
Okay, which I'm absolutely fine with that, because we're going to play the irons a little bit shorter. We're going to play the hybrid and fairways a little bit shorter as well. Only sort of like 1/4 of an inch through all of them.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a full inch shorter as well. So we don't need to really thicken it up. We might just need that extra layer of tape on the driver shaft, just so it feels a little bit more similar to all the others. So we don't have one feeling small, one feeling, and the rest feeling big. We just broaden that driver out a little bit, just so that they have that sort of synergy from top to bottom. All right?
Yeah.
Surprised your dad didn't shout one from over the camera. He was thinking about it. Love that. Absolutely. How's that feel?
Really good. A lot better.
Yeah? Just going to try one more little setting just to double check. Try that smaller tee.
Yeah.
Just going to do it right on top of the driver there.
Yeah.
That's better, isn't it?
Yeah.
That little bit lower tee. So you're just going to have to, when you get the golf clubs, get a tee height that you feel comfortable with. It might be slightly in between that white and pink Castle tee, just so that you find, because it is a different golf club. It feels like it's going to deliver it a little bit differently as well. Okay. Oh. So, driver 357. We'll put the 4 hybrid in there, just so you've got a chop and change club, really.
Okay.
So this would be 5 iron replacement.
Yeah.
Okay. My opinion would be, don't make the game harder now. Okay. There's plenty of time for it to get hard and difficult and play with your mind.
Yeah.
Give yourself a really easy option at this sort of level.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to go out there and play good golf and have a golf club that's easy, reliable, especially at the yardage you're going to be trying to do this and attack a flag from. Okay, just make it as easy as possible. All right.
Yeah.
And when was the last time you hit 5 iron like that?
Yeah.
Happy with that?
Yeah.
Cool. Right. All good. So, driver 357.
Yeah.
4-5 hybrid, 6 to gap wedge.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll talk about wedges and have a little flick around and go from there. All right. I know you play 56 at the moment,
Yeah.
okay, and you have quite a large gap from your pitching wedge to your
Yeah.
56. What we want to do is give you a more diverse golf bag. Okay, when we're looking at what we've done with the irons, we're going to be dropping it down into a gap wedge. Okay, for you that's going to be 49 degrees. Not a bad gap if we went straight to the 56, but I think if we're going to put an extra wedge in there as well, something a little bit more lofted so that you can play up and over things and make your life a little bit easier, we need to look at where we go to with that. If you manipulate the loft quite a lot and have an open blade of fraction, then we could potentially get away with a 58. I think if we like to keep quite a square golf club, I think the 60 is going to make your life a lot easier getting up and over things. Okay, if we're going to go 60, it makes a lot more sense to go 54 for sort of your sort of sand wedge, middle distance, chipping around the green, one that's going to have a little bit of roll from the golf club and the shot play. Okay, with the forged wedges, you have full face grooves. So the grooves start in the heel, go all the way to the toe. Brilliant for most golfers in the fact that even I don't catch everything quite out the middle. So it just means that even with those sort of off-centre shots, the ball's going to react really well on the ground. The relief on sort of the higher lofted really comes in quite early, so it allows you to manipulate the loft both on 58 and 60 depending on which loft you feel more comfortable with. Both 9 degrees of bounce, so it's not going to fluctuate too much between those. The sort of groove that we have in here allows more mass to be up the golf club, going to help generate some spin and raise that centre of gravity. So just have a, which one do you like the look of most of all at address? We'll match in the shaft with what we've got in the irons and obviously the lie angle as well.
Yep.
What would you prefer to play? Do you want to have a flick first or?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you want to flick it first? Let's see what we've got then. Oh! How does that feel?
Feels nice, yeah.
Lovely shot. Got some bite on it, that one.
Yep.
Okay, so 54, that slightly lower running shot. Let's see how you get on with that. Just try and place the ball a little bit further back in your stance so you catch it a wee bit earlier and get your hands, feel like your hands are in front of your left knee.
Yeah.
There you go. That's more like it. Lovely shot.
Cheers.
And you'll hear the sound get a little softer. Nearly. Nice.
Yeah.
Do you like those?
Yeah.
Sorry, take your time. Yeah. Do you like bunkers?
Not at the moment, no.
Right. Really wide.
Yeah.
Right. Really wide with the feet.
Yeah.
Right. Get wider. There we go. Right. And what you want to do is you want to feel like you do that. Okay.
Yeah.
You're basically going to try and belly flop this back edge into the ground really hard.
Yeah.
Big full swing. There we go. That's better.
Yeah.
And you see how it didn't go that far? Rule 1 of bunkers, just get it out. Rule 2, we worry about direction after. Right, so belly flop it in, nice and hard, loads of loft. Right, that's just where you're aiming.
Yeah.
Feel the difference in that though. Right, really wide with the feet, really wide with the club face, get it flat to the ground, big hit, belly flop it in. There we go. Oh! Better?
Yeah.
Sand plays so easy because it's always a consistent perfect lie, typically, as long as everyone's rated it.
I'm not sure I understand.
Well, I do. All you gotta do, just smash it into the ground. If you get that heel hitting the ground first, that will maintain the loft and that will give you the height and elevation. I think to make your life a little bit easier, I'm thinking 54-60. Just because that higher loft, set loft, you're going to find it that much easier.
Yeah.
So it's 58?
54.
Okay. So you can get the same height with this, you can achieve it, you just got to lay it right open still.
Yeah.
There we go. See what I mean?
Yeah.
As long as we get that technique right, you're just going to definitely keep that ball up and out. Oh! Happy with that?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so we go 54-60, gap wedge to 6 iron, 5 hybrid, 4 hybrid, 7 wood through to the driver.
Yep.
What bag?
I don't know.
So you get a choice of, I'll make sure you get one of the camo ones. Any
Yeah.
particular colour? So you've got grey,
Yeah.
we do a white, and I think we've got a jacquard at the moment, which is like a black on black. You're going black heads,
Yeah.
right? Black bag, super stealth like.
Yeah.
Black on black sounds very
Black
cool.
on black. I mean, you'd be the coolest guy on the golf course.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
Happy with that?
Yeah.
Zach, your first proper fitting. Wow.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was amazing.
I was telling the car, this guy's the best.
Yeah.
And what it was like, but did it exceed your expectations?
Definitely.
There's just nothing left to chance, is there?
No.
You know, even though Lawrence quite often sort of blind squirrels it, as he says, he gets it right the first time, we'll still try 2 or 3 more options just to
Yeah.
make it absolutely perfect. Lawrence, that was so much fun just watching that.
No.
The joy on Zach's face. I mean, he loves his golf anyway. There's no excuses when you get these babies in the bag, you know.
Yeah.
And these full bag deals are incredible that PXG do. They're all available on the website, aren't they?
They are, yeah, and you know, like we've discussed, what we're going for today is just, it's a phenomenal price for a full set of golf clubs with a bag and a hat. You know, 1,900 odd quid for a full set of sticks is unbelievable. Everything at the moment is 10 working days, so it's flying off the shelves, it's flying into people's hands, and people are, you know, still taking advantage of this late summer sun that we've got. So
Brilliant.
fingers crossed people take advantage of it.
10 more sleeps, buddy.
Yeah.
Anyway, Lawrence, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
That-
Thank you.
Hope you enjoyed that, guys. If you did, give us a like, and we'll see you next time on The Golf Show. I hope you enjoyed that episode of The Golf Show. To watch another, click here. To subscribe, click here.